LA This Week.
LA City celebrates Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. I'm Gil Reyes at City Hall with an explanation of some of the food cultures that people are enjoying this holiday.
Asian American youth embracing hip-hop as a form of self-expression. We'll explore a brief history in Los Angeles through art and pictures. That's coming up.
I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, it's an opportunity to get up close and personal with the military.
Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. Here's what's happening on LA This Week. The city of LA is taking an unprecedented and bold step in addressing the homeless crisis. Anna Marcos takes us to the very first temporary bridge housing site, which is ready to welcome 45 new residents.
These bedroom cubicles mark a turning point in the city's fight to stop homelessness. They become the first of many bridge housing projects, temporary shelters built on unused pieces of city land. And the city plans to build them all over Los Angeles.
We can't just keep people alive on the streets. We can't just wait for that day in which they will have a permanent apartment. We have to do something today, a place to start healing.
It is a temporary rest stop while we get people into permanent housing.
The bridge housing centers will provide round-the-clock supportive care, a space to eat and gather in a community space, a place to shower, store your stuff, do your laundry, and live in for up to 6 months while you wait for permanent housing. And pets, by the way, are welcome.
Let them believe that they too can have a second chance, a chance at being normal. That is our responsibility.
We see that this is such a crisis that we're stepping up and providing a service that Angelenos desperately need.
45 men and women are moving into the shelter. They were invited by street outreach workers visiting encampments in the area.
I see El Pueblo is the stone in the pond. It's the ripple effect that happens. It is not going to single-handedly solve homelessness, but it's a step.
As forward-thinking as the shelters are, they are just a bridge for the permanent housing that the city is building with funds from Prop HHH, a $1.2 billion bond that will allow them to build 10,000 units for homeless and low-income residents in the next few years. In the meantime, city leaders are also looking at other city properties for temporary shelters.
Just down the street here, the council approved a motion to use the old children's museum that will existing building that's just been sitting there, city-owned property that we could immediately put homeless into that shelter.
Fighting homelessness may be a huge battle, but city leaders are determined to fight it one project at a time. This latest one means another 45 people are no longer homeless.
Plans for more bridge housing are in the works in all council districts. The city celebrates the Jewish holiday Rosh Hashanah in a way that's universal, through food. Gil Reyes has more from City Hall.
The shofar is a ram's horn that our people have been using for thousands of years to announce the coming of the new year.
Happy Rosh Hashanah to our Jewish friends. At City Hall, the Jewish Federation hosted a banquet garnished with food symbolism to help ring in Hebrew year 5779.
Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are a period of introspection and reflection.
Jewish, not Jewish, it doesn't matter about religion. It doesn't matter about any religion. It just matters about being humans and caring for other humans.
And of course, you have the traditional Rosh Hashanah food and this food culture explained.
Each food basically is part of the table setting either because of its name, its taste, or its shape. Here we have a head of lettuce, and really that symbolizes leadership. We request that we will be like a head and not a tail in the year to come.
Beans are for hoping that good fortune abounds. Apples dipped in honey, they're for a sweet new year. Pomegranates are also symbolic.
There's a teaching that states that there are 613 seeds in the pomegranate, and so it's kind of a commandment of God that these 613 seeds should symbolize all the good deeds that one should do within a year.
The city's Jewish elected leaders have a lot on their plate.
Counteract homelessness and get more people housed and off the streets and on the services.
On a global level, we're grappling with climate change. We've seen the reality of it take effect from coast to coast and indeed everywhere in the world. All of us need to take into account the fact that this is the world we're going to leave to our children.
Make amends with those who are around us, and seek to constantly become not just better people, but a better city.
Rosh Hashanah, a 2-day festival, marks the start of the Jewish New Year. Shana Tova to all means Happy New Year. Well, Fleet Week is back for its 3rd year at the Port of LA. Rasha Goel shows us one of the highlights of the 4-day festival.
It's the 3rd annual Fleet Week, and we are aboard the USS Iowa. It's a chance to go and explore some exclusive history. Touring the USS Iowa, which is stationed at the Port of Los Angeles and San Pedro, is one of the things people were able to enjoy at the 4-day Fleet Week event.
Everybody's been so kind, and they've explained to us so many different things. I mean, it's nice to be welcomed here because we don't know anything, so it's really nice that they give us a nice tour and stuff.
I'm about to go in here, but a little fun fact for all of you. Did you know that this ship was designed in the late 30s, but didn't actually get built until the early 40s? Follow me. So many things to learn about this iconic ship. This is the captain's headquarters. Now, it's quite a historic place because President Franklin D. Roosevelt spent 2 weeks here, and this is where D-Day was planned. But the USS Iowa is just one aspect. During Fleet Week, there's so much more to experience: direct interaction with the Navy, Marines, and other organizations.
There are a lot of military equipment that they're not going to get to see anywhere else except here at LA Fleet Week. There's going to be a lot of their civil authorities that they're going to get to talk with, interact with, and really learn from and see what capabilities are out there and what services are offered by the city as well as their military.
10-year-old Grant Bartz has been coming for 3 years and finds it to be fascinating.
I came down here just to explore all the history and to explore like the active Navy ships, and for me it's just fascinating to for the Dewey, for example, it's a really cool ship, especially considering it's only 10 years old. I just find it really fascinating to just visit all the ships, especially the Iowa, considering its great history.
Even out-of-town visitors found their way down to the port.
My father was in the Second World War with the Americans, so we've sort of got that connection.
Fleet Week offers the rare opportunity to celebrate and learn about the United States Sea Services and the men and women who presently serve or have served in the armed forces. It's a great way to get a peek into the past and present.
The crew on board Fleet Week's visiting ships takes us on an up-close look at their military firepower.
Did you miss San Pedro's Fleet Week and its fascinating tours of visiting military ships? No problem. Through the magic of television, we can still hop aboard 3 vessels, starting with the USS Dewey, a guided missile destroyer from San Diego. Check out the guns on Dewey.
The explosive rounds that come out of a Mark 54 can tear a hole probably 5 or 6 feet wide in the side of a ship. This is the real business of a ship like this. It's the missile decks, and underneath each of these hatches you see here, Gil, are any number of types of missiles, whether it be a Tomahawk missile, a Standard missile for air-to-air.
One of the ships docked here during Fleet Week was the USS Scout. It diffuses underwater mines, and what you're looking at right behind me is a mine neutralization vehicle. There are 2 of them on board. As Ensign Matthew Greger explains, the vehicle's arms can help cut the mine's chains, defusing the device, and defusing it carefully. If not, kaboom.
They have a chain that they're moored to the bottom of the surface underneath the ocean, and we'll drive right up to it like this, The arm right here will grab onto that chain, and we'll either cut the chain using an explosive charge, or we can attach a bomblet to it, and the bomblet is attached to the arm, and it'll detonate, cracking the mine, rendering it inert.
We now climb aboard the only visiting vessel from Canada, HMCS Ottawa.
This is probably the main event of the ship for people who are into military.
Certainly what you can see, the missiles back aft that we'll see, but this is our 57 millimeter main armament, fires 220 rounds a minute, primarily used anti-air defense as well as in an anti-surface role.
And for target practice, the gun shoots at remote-controlled boats.
These are targets, expendable targets that we launch into the water. There's a position up on our bridge where they drive them from, and then we shoot at them and take them to destruction.
In short, they're history, just like LA Fleet Week 2018. See you all next year.
LA will celebrate its first Indigenous Peoples Day on October 8th. We take a look at what the public can expect from the inaugural event.
Mark it on your calendar. The City of Los Angeles will officially recognize its first Indigenous Peoples Day on Monday, October 8th. Get pumped for powwows and more at City Hall and Grand Park as the new holiday replaces Columbus Day.
I think in my lifetime we will see Indigenous Peoples Day replace Columbus Day at the federal level. We'll at least see Columbus Day removed because the facts are the facts and the historical record is crystal clear on the misdeeds and atrocities committed by Christopher Columbus himself.
Last year, Councilman Mitch O'Farrell, who is of Native American heritage, successfully lobbied to abolish Columbus Day in LA City. In its place, Indigenous Peoples Day. Celebrations at LA Civic Center will include a sunrise ceremony, a blessing from LA's native Tongva Nation, a 5K run, and
the closer is the band Redbone with Come and Get Your Love, the classic Grammy Award-winning Native American band, and a lot of new generation talent in the Native American community, and lots of DJs spinning as well.
Indigenous Peoples Day will take place in the city of Los Angeles every second Monday in October from now on, and you can be there for the first.
Other cities celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day include Berkeley, San Francisco, Portland, and Seattle. Well, hundreds came out to celebrate LA's 237th birthday. Part of the festivities included a 9-mile walk that pays tribute to the city's history.
In celebration of LA's birthday, some Angelenos laced up their sneakers to walk the entire 9-mile journey, much like LA's original founders are said to have done 237 years ago.
I've done this race at least 5 or 6 times, and it's so wonderful to be experiencing all this wonderful, diverse culture in Los Angeles.
Back in 1781, the story goes, LA's founding families, Los Pobladores, walked from San Gabriel Mission to El Pueblo at Olvera Street to establish Los Angeles. This heritage walk takes place every year to remember.
I've done this walk since 2005. I went to high school at the Mission, and I think it's a wonderful commemoration.
LAPD Assistant Chief Beatrice Germala hiked all 9 scenic miles in her LAPD uniform and didn't even appear to break a sweat.
Although I've lived 53 years here in the city of Los Angeles, this was another beautiful opportunity to rediscover the beauty and diversity here. It was a privilege to be a part of this community event and making so many new friends.
Once in downtown Los Angeles, the fiesta began. LA City Controller Ron Galperin, El Pueblo Councilman Jose Huizar, and the mayor of San Gabriel, John Harrington, among the dignitaries.
Thank you for the work and dedication and the pride in keeping this heritage alive.
And after all that heart-pumping, calorie-burning exercise, how about a little cake for just desserts? Happy 237th birthday, Los Angeles.
While some historians dispute how Los Angeles was founded and settled, September 4th is officially recognized as LA's birthday. Rock and roll legend Ritchie Valens is an icon in Pacoima, and now he's about to become immortalized with his very own memorial highway dedication.
You're mine.
There's no other way to say it. Rock and roller Ritchie Valens' songs still inspire love decades after his death. The singing legend wrote and sang such songs as We Belong Together, La Bamba, Come On, Let's Go, and Donna. And there's no people prouder about it than Pacoima residents.
My brother was the first Latino rock and roll singer in the world.
Ritchie Valens changed the world, and he's from Pacoima. And it made me feel that any kid from Pacoima can change the world.
I still can't believe he was only 17. You know, the maturity of his music, his voice, his original style, his guitar playing.
This festival honored not only Ritchie Valens' life and music at a park named after him, but it also served to unveil Pacoima's new Ritchie Valens Memorial Highway.
The 5 freeway traverses the heart of Pacoima. So what better stretch of highway to commemorate the memory of such a legend for Pacoima?
A lot of people ask me a lot, why do you think Ritchie's legacy is almost 60 years? And I tell them it's because it's about familia. Yeah!
It's downright infectious, and it's enough to bring some to their knees. And who can resist that catchy La Bamba beat?
Ritchie, La Bamba, I like it.
Valens died in a plane crash at age 17, his recording career lasting only 8 months. But they were 8 months that changed music history. And in this community, at least, his memory is not forgotten.
The event also included a free screening of the movie La Bamba, which was made in honor of Valens' life. Asian American artists are breaking barriers in the world of hip-hop. We take you to an exhibit at the Chinese American Museum.
I don't tell the Asian American story. I tell our American stories.
Jason Chu is shattering stereotypes. The Chinese-American Yale graduate and devout Christian is also a hip-hop artist, one of several featured in this exhibit dedicated to Asian Americans in rap.
For me, hip-hop is the articulation and embodiment of the hopes of people who've been pushed to the side.
Though originally a means of self-expression for Black and Latino kids in New York City, starting in the early 1970s, hip-hop eventually embraced all cultures, giving LA's Asian Americans a voice they previously did not have.
Curators say this exhibit honors LA rappers and visual artists who dare to defy traditional expectations of Asian Americans.
Well, that is definitely the second stereotype that we're trying to dispel, and that's that the Asian American community is not creative. You know, and that's just not true. You know, yes, there are a lot of engineers who come out of schools who are Chinese American. Yes, a lot of doctors, a lot of scientists. But, you know, to say that there are no creative Asians is a complete stereotype.
Especially here in Los Angeles. I mean, I'm an LA local myself, grew up here. You know, Asian American representation is, you know, very apparent here, but I think also other parts of the world, they might not have that, or other parts of the country even, so I think LA is very unique in that way.
Chinatown's influential Firecracker Club hosted LA underground hip-hop parties between 1998 and 2009. Filipino Americans like DJ Babu from Beat Junkies and Apple Diap from Black Eyed Peas among the performers. Check out Don't Believe the Hype, Asian Americans in Hip-Hop. The exhibit takes place at El Pueblo's Chinese American Museum through November 4th.
City leaders show their support for 2 state housing ballot measures. A childhood center in Lincoln Heights gets a makeover, and it's a splashin' good time for kids in Glassell Park. All these stories in City Beat. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, City Council President Herb Wesson, and other council members called on supporters to vote in favor of 2 November state ballot measures that will fund affordable and supportive housing. Prop 1 would authorize a $4 billion bond to build and provide affordable housing for veterans, working families, people with disabilities, and those who are homeless. Prop 2 would help build housing that includes mental health services. During a news conference outside City Hall attended by dozens of supporters of the measures, Garcetti said we're voting yes on Props 1 and 2. Councilmember Gil Cedillo joined Plaza de la Raza Child Development Services, community members, and preschoolers for the grand reopening of the Gilbert Cedillo Center in Lincoln Heights. Using federal Head Start funds, the center was completely demolished and renovated. The previous preschool site operated out of an older modular classroom. The upgraded center has a new modular playground, turf, sunshade, landscaping, and a new handicap parking stall. The entire project is in compliance with 2018 ADA standards. Councilmember Cedillo presented Plaza de la Raza Child Development Services with a $25,000 check to benefit the organization's fund.
Mijo, education is for life. You know, they can never take away your education, and it begins here. And so those lessons remain with me.
Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell also gathered with community members to celebrate the opening of a newly renovated splash pad at Juntos Park Eclosel Park. Proposition K, LA for Kids program, provided the funding for the refurbishment of the splash pad, and the Bureau of Engineering managed the project. The work consisted of removal and replacement of the existing surface, as well as the addition of 5 new water features, a baby changing station, and a water recirculation system for water conservation.
It's an environmentally sound way for children to enjoy cooling off in the summer months.
We take you back to the waterfront for LA's first Tall Ships Festival, where folks got a chance to set sail on 2 unique vessels.
It was an on-the-water experience as people had the chance to board a tall ship for a 2-hour sail and cannon battle down in San Pedro near the Los Angeles Gate Lighthouse.
We've got 3 tall ships today. Count them. 1, 2, 3.
He's referring to the Irving Johnson and Exie Johnson, LA's official tall ships, along with visiting vessel Bill of Rights. The cannon battle sails were open to the public for free.
Irving and Exie Johnson were a husband and wife who sailed around the world about 7 times. They decided to take Girl Scouts out, teach kids how to sail.
The tall ships are also part of a program started by the late Jim Gladson that take at-risk youth out to sea and gives them the ocean experience. For some kids, it's helped conquer their fears.
If you ever have a fear, don't wait and never try to accomplish that fear. Do the fear or whatever it is. Do it so you can get that weight off your shoulders and you can just have the joy.
We're doing a lot of community outreach and serving not only at-risk youth, we continue to do that, but also science programs for students and some college work and day sails.
And during Fleet Week, the experience isn't just for kids.
You have many soldiers coming from different areas. We have Navy visiting from other areas that have never been to Southern California. They had never actually been on a tall ship. They're used to their own battleships. So this is actually a very neat experience, not only for them, but for the San Pedro community.
For our folks who can see past the ship, our opponent is gaining on us over here. They will soon be arriving at our position, but little do they know that we have secret weapon, battle bubbles.
It's an opportunity to experience history while creating new memories.
The Los Angeles Maritime Museum is always looking for volunteers. For more info, visit lamaritimmuseum.org. Well, come celebrate the Mexican War of Independence. It's an art show for your dog and show off your skills during an LAFD girls camp. All that in this week's Things to Do. El Grito de Dolores marks the beginning of the Mexican War of Independence and is celebrated each year on September 15. For more than 20 years, the celebration of El Grito has been sponsored by the city of Los Angeles. This celebration entertains residents and television viewers with a reenactment of the historic cry and bell ringing, and featuring live musical entertainment on the historic steps of City Hall. El Grito is LA's free public festival highlighting our vibrant Latino community, as well as showcasing the immense contributions Latinos have made to the city's culture, history, and economy. The celebration takes place on Saturday, September 15th, starting at 5:30 p.m. at City Hall. This art show is going to the dogs, literally. It's America's first art exhibition specifically for dogs called Dogumenta. The exhibition invites artists to create work addressing the canine sensibility through a variety of media, from sound and sculpture to kibble and squeaky toys. The event takes place over 2 weekends at Fig at 7th. Both Sundays will feature an on-site mobile dog adoption section with LA Animal Services from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and dog trainers. The Dogumenta Art Show takes place the weekends of September 14th and 16th and 21st and 23rd from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Fig at 7. For more, visit DogSavvyLosAngeles.com. Do you have what it takes to wear your strength? Step it up with some of LA's bravest women at the Los Angeles Fire Department's LAFD Girls Camp. Girls ages 14 to 18 are invited to explore the possibility of a future career with the LAFD with active duty LAFD female firefighters and cadets. This 2-day program will be filled with lots of fun, hands-on activities with actual firefighting tools and equipment, and the chance to try on the firefighters' personal protective gear. Registration is free at eventbrite.com. The event takes place September 15th and 16th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Frank Hodgkin Memorial Training Center. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for us here at LA This Week. I'm Yana Kane. From all of us here, thanks for watching. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org and check out our latest social media videos, LA This Minute. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.